Hey, everybody. Elgin here. Happy New Year. Happy 2024 to you. Hey, guess what, man? I am fresh off of a quick trip to Cancun and am on my way for my 60th birthday out of town again. I'll let you know when I get back. Oh my gosh, it's so great though. In all the years I've been doing this, I have not taken as long of a vacation as I am going to take um, here in a couple of weeks and include that with the fact that we just got back. So this truly is a birthday month. Now, obviously, one of the great things of working at eXp Realty, and I guess any other realty that is virtual for that matter, is that you can really work from anywhere. You can honestly work from anywhere. But what I want to talk to you guys about a couple of things is that here in 2024, from a real estate standpoint for your businesses. This is for my real estate business people. Are you guys, how are you feeling? For a lot of people, 2023 was a tough year. It was a transitioning year. I'm starting to see a lot of people who, it's January, the dues were due and fees are due. And people are trying to make decisions on whether or not they're going to stay in the business or not, which is crazy to me. Crazy to me if this is a full time entrepreneurship type of passion for you. But I understand. I understand. And now all of a sudden, too, because there aren't as many sales, let's be honest, prices have stayed, relatively good in the areas that I serviced. In some of the areas I service, they've gone up a little bit. Just the amount of inventory hasn't been there. And because of the amount of inventory not being there, there's just not as many sales. The percentage of sales is off. But there are sales and pricing is still there. So we're starting to hear interest rates are going down. And I don't know whether they are, whether or not. To be very honest with you, I don't really care if they go up or down because people need to buy and sell. People need help. Folks need help regardless to what the interest rates are. And the interest rates were pretty high when we bought our first place. I mean, I remember we did a buy down and we bought our interest rate down from 14% to 12.5. And we thought we had really done something. We thought we were doing it, right? So that's not what I mean? If you do what you do when you have to do it and you adjust. You refinance later, you sell, you buy, you do whatever you have to do, but you start getting home ownership, equity, and the things that you're looking to get in purchasing a home, building memories, building your family. But agents, let me ask you this. Now that it may be a little bit slower for you, and you may have been doing really well prior to last year, and maybe last year was a little tougher, or even if it's just the same, but it's a little slower. So now you're able to kind of take a breath a little bit and look at your business, and you kind of try to make some decisions on what works for you from your lead generation, from your prospecting to coaching down to the company that you're working with. Here's what I would say to you. 5 years ago was when we left where we were at previously, which was Keller Williams. And we weren't unhappy with Keller Williams, the franchise. And we left and we went to EXP. It was a big leap of faith. It's a big leap of faith. And we did not come for some of the reasons that other people come for. Let me tell you why we came to EXP. And let me ask you if this fits for you. Is we started to look at that time what will be 5 years down the line. I have been selling real estate a long time. Like this is my 36th year. Been selling real estate a long time, what some people consider a pretty decent level. And did I want the next 5 years to look exactly like the previous five, like the previous five? And you kind of hear that stuff before. And I kind of been looking for something, kind of. I thought I had found it because I was with Keller Williams like 15 years. Thought I'd found it there. And I still think they're a good company, by the way. This is not Keller Williams bashing. This was for me as I was looking into my business of where I wanted to be 5 years later. And what I was looking for was number one, a place that I felt I could get a good business model. For me, the EXP business model, and if you ever want to hear it, I've got a quick 9-minute video and can meet with you for some coffee or one-on-one or a Zoom. We can talk about it in more detail. But here was the way the business plan, the basics of it, and what made sense to me. Number one is I could work this business plan remotely, which I was not a fan of. I was not a fan of remote. I've been in offices for years. And I was one that goes to the office and works, not goes to the office and have coffee and drink and socialize. I went to the office and worked. So this was something for me was a tug and pull. But here's what I looked at. One is I looked at with the EXP business model, they had a cap that was less expensive than the cap that I was currently on at my KW office. I also looked at the fact that the expenses to operate my business were less. That the expenses were less. That there was more opportunity with tools that I was not good at. Tools I was not going to mean online stuff, meaning that I was already doing videos, but then to enhance these things and move them to the right places, online lead generation, other than just writing Zillow a check. And if you just write Zillow a check and that works for you, I'm not tripping. I don't care how you do your business. I'm just telling you what I was looking at. So I'm looking at being able to operate my business for less expensive. I'm going to be able to cap faster. There was no at the offices I was at previously, there was a transaction fee that either I had to pay or I had to pass on to my customers on each transaction. My errors and admissions insurance, I had to pay a certain amount each transaction. And because we were doing a decent number of transactions, that added up. Whereas where I'm at now, I don't have that. Okay, at EXP, we got a $500 cap on the insurance. That's all I pay per year. That comes off of like dollars at 25, $30 off of each transaction. You know what I mean? So it's nothing. It's quote unquote a nothing burger. In addition to that, though, I don't know about you guys, but I was intrigued by the stocks. I was intrigued by the stocks because I've done other things in the stock market as far as trying to invest. And for those of us, we should take off, 5, 10, 20% of our income off the top and invest in ourselves. So how many of us really do that all the time, consistently? So what I was looking at was that EXP had just gone public. I felt that the stock was inexpensive. Looking at the company had at that time very little debt. It now has no debt. And I felt that 5 years from that point, we could actually start building retirement and be in a better position if we just did the same amount of help the same amount of families, the same amount of transactions that we've been doing for years. So to me, I didn't see where I could lose with that, and then we could only gain. When we came to EXP, I think there was 7,000, 6,000, 7,000 agents. There weren't very many. It took me a year to make the move. I know that a lot of people talk about, oh, company, it's a recruiting company, and people go there just to recruit. So number one, I'll address the first part of that. The first part of that, there's less than 12% of the company, agents in the company. There's over 90,000 now that actually participate in the agent attraction or revenue share program. I don't know why, but that's what the numbers say. When we came over to EXP, we were 100% not looking at the revenue share part. That did absolutely nothing for us. Reason why? Because in the previous model that we were at, we went hard with the profit share model and we weren't seeing the results. Now, I'm not saying it's all KW's fault or whatever, but at the end of the day, we were not seeing the type of results that made us want to, that made it worth anything. So we were just figuring, to be honest, that the agent attraction part, revenue share, not really looking at it. So, okay, we'll see whatever happens. So we didn't come over and aggressively, quote unquote, recruit, agent attract. Did not. Now we're into this, and I wish we had it, but now that we're into this, here's what I'm looking at. Here's what we're looking at. Here's what works for us in this business model. We're still selling real estate. We're still selling homes. And, the home prices have increased. Our expenses are down. So I'm in the net income. I'm not in the gross. So our net has increased just there. In addition to that, because of the amount of opportunities that we've had as far as helping families and have been participating in the stock program and the other types of awards that EXP will give you for helping the company grow. I mean, we now have thousands and thousands of shares of stock 5 years later. I mean, Stockton, when we first started purchasing it, it was $5. Now, as we speak right now, it's 16. But we've been purchasing each transaction. So we purchased at the high at $60. We purchased at the low, the $5, $6, whatever it was. We've just been investing in it. And the blessings have been we've just been investing in it and haven't touched it. But here's really where it got interesting. Is that because we were selling homes, because some people knew us, and other people were looking for different ways to change, increase their business model, we suddenly, even without really going for it, began to build a revenue share team. That revenue share team, now we're not as big as some, but we're definitely part of the 12% that is working that part of the market. So now, though, suddenly we are receiving residual income monthly from our from our Asian revenue share business, and we're doing nothing differently than we did any other company, doing absolutely nothing different. So just trying to help agents, help families, help things grow, and now we're receiving. We're not receiving $100,000 a month. We're not receiving $50,000 a month. But let me ask you this: if you are receiving a 4 or 5 figure monthly residual income that's coming to you that you're not working for, if it's enough to pay your house note, to pay your car insurance, to pay your life insurance, to pay some of those things, and it doesn't have to come out of your real estate part, is that good? I think so. So that's our story. What I'm telling you is that if you're looking, and you should be, you should always be looking. You should always be looking at what is best for your business and your family. Because I don't care, honestly, if it's EXP, if it's Keller Williams, if it's Remax, if it's LPT, if it's real, I don't care who it is. The company is still looking and working at what's also best for the company. That doesn't mean they're trying to hurt your agents. They're meaning that their corporation, their company is what they're standing on. Now, I think the EXP and a couple of the other companies I mentioned are standing on also helping and servicing agents. I honestly do. But you're in charge of you. You're the entrepreneur. It's your family. So you should always be looking at what model fits you best. So even other models that have come since our EXP model, I've looked at. The model that we're currently in right now is on a monthly basis, giving us a pretty good residual income that we are working. I don't want to make it seem like we ain't doing nothing for it. We're helping agents be productive. Our upline, we're helping agents be productive. We are still helping and working with our families and our databases and other lead generation things we're doing. That's providing us with our real estate income. And in addition to that, we are investing in the company in regards to our stock program because we believe in it. By the way, you're not required to do any of that. We believe in it. We believe in it. And we see where it's going. And one way, again, I want to end this is because I was at Keller Williams. I was at Keller Williams when there were 16,000 agents. When we left, there were over 190,000 agents. I've seen this movie before. I already know how this ends. This time, I'm able to be a much more active participant. God bless. Reach out if you'd like a little bit more information. And whether you do or not, have a happy and a great 2024. And I hope that you're productive and you help as many families as you can. God bless.